Hello everyone from the beautiful city of Antigua, Guatemala. I wanted to share something with you about the Parsha this week regarding the famous twins Yaakov and Esav and how surprising it is and how they turned out to be so very different, opposites in fact, one from the other. Because it doesn't seem to make any sense that two siblings, especially twins who were brought up in the same generation, the same time period, in the same home with the same parents, with the same surroundings, the same energies, how could they have grown up to be so vastly different? One is the symbol of goodness, the other is a symbol of evil. How? So let's talk about a pasuk in Mishlei that we've all heard of, but we've probably only heard the first part of it and not the second part. Mishlei says, Sheva yipol tzadik v'kam, that a tzaddik falls 7 times and gets back up each time. And we understand that to mean that a tzaddik, because he's such a tzaddik, he falls down and he has that resiliency and that stamina and he picks himself back up and continues on. But no, here's the thing. We understand those words a little differently. What makes someone a tzaddik is a regular person, but he falls down and he picks himself back up again every time he falls down. That act alone of picking himself up every time he falls is what renders him a tzaddik. Now, what's the second half of that pasuk? The Rasha yikashlu bara'ah. That a Rasha is someone who just ruminates over and over in the evil, in the bad, in the negative. So what does this have to do with Yaakov and Esav? So Yaakov was in a very different emotional place, in a different mental state than Esav was. You see, Yaakov understood his capacity for greatness. He believed in himself. He knew that he was inherently good, and that even if he did something that was negative, even if he made a mistake, which he did, he was human like all of us, that did not define who he was. That did not change the essence of who he was, and he was still a good person, and he believed in himself, and he fell down, and he said, okay, I fell down, but I can get up. Esav, on the other hand, did not feel the same way. Esav defined himself by his mistakes. Esav did not believe in himself and in his inherent greatness. And when he did something wrong, he said, I'm such a bad person. And we know because the day that he agreed to sell Yaakov his Bechorah, which in essence was selling his Olam Haba, was a day that he committed 3 horrible, terrible sins. And he was feeling so down about himself. He said, whatever, I'm such a terrible person. I'm already going to Gehenna. I may as well sell my Olam Haba, right? I'm such a terrible person. I'm such a sinner. And he defined himself by those mistakes. So Yaakov lived in confidence. Yaakov understood his value and his worth. And making a mistake didn't deter him. Making a mistake didn't keep him down. He was able to get himself back up and move forward. And that's how he was able to become the great Yaakov Avinu. Esav, on the other hand, didn't believe in his greatness and didn't believe in his inherent goodness. And when he made a mistake, he became that mistake. So he went further and he just ruminated in that evil over and over again. And he fell into this rut of depression and he just couldn't get himself out. So he made mistakes again and again and again. Yaakov became a tzaddik because he fell down and he picked himself back up and said, I am better than that mistake I just made. Esav fell down and said, no, that mistake is me. There I go again. So let's understand, let's integrate this lesson for ourselves, for our spouses, for our children. Let's not define ourselves or the people we love by the mistakes that they make. Let's instill confidence in ourselves, confidence in them. Let's believe in ourselves. We are inherently good. We have a neshama that is beautiful and purified every single day. Every single morning we wake up and we have a chance to live the greatness that we are, and so do they. Let's remember that. Have a beautiful Shabbos.